Good morning and welcome to the little apartment on the prairie. I am off to forage for some mullein today, which is a yellow flower. I'll show you. It's a gorgeous flower. I don't think we had them in Ohio, at least not the part of Ohio I lived in, because I never saw them until I moved to Nebraska. But they're a flower that I love to use, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it after I gather some of it. So come along and let's see if we can find some. Alright, it's kind of windy, so I hope you can hear okay. We're approaching the area where I saw some mullein growing the other day. And it often grows on hillsides, kind of alongside roads, although sometimes it's just in fields. And this is going to be a bit of a challenge to get up this hillside. Do you see that? So it's those tall stalks with the yellow flowers up there. That's the stuff we want. And we want some leaves and some flowers. So I'm going to have to put my camera down so I can try and climb up this hill without falling down the hill. Alright, well that was a little disappointing. I got a few flowers, not as many as I would have liked. You see that? It's my little container made out of a vinegar bottle. They work great for collecting things. I did get some leaves, which is good, and I picked a few plantain leaves on my way walking back home. Yeah, I'm out of breath. That hill was really steep and hard to climb. That was maybe not the best idea. So I am back home, and I just thought I'd talk to you a little bit about what it is I'm going to do with this mullein, and what I'm going to do is throw it in the dehydrator, but I thought I'd explain how I'm going to use it as well. So, see if you can see you can see the dehydrator over here. I've got these leaves, and I also have some plantain leaves I picked while I was out. So I'm just going to lay them in the dehydrator in a single layer. Pick off some extras. I've got like more stem than leaf on some of these. Mullein, I like to do a couple things with. One is I make an oil with it with some garlic and olive oil, and I just put the dried flowers and a little bit of garlic in a jar and cover it up with olive oil, and then let it sit there for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then I shake it up every few days, and then I strain it, and it makes a wonderful oil for earaches. I just put like a couple drops in my ears when I have an earache, and it works. I mean, I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not making any promises, but it works really great for me when I have earaches, and I get ear infections a lot, and I find that really helpful. I really did not get many flowers today at all, so I'm disappointed about that. I'm hoping I'll be able to go get some flowers in some other locations. Here's a little bit of plantain I got too. Let's get that on there. I can easily tell them apart, so I've got them in the same container here, and I've got, I can put them on the dehydrator together. They're fine. If I had things that looked similar, I'd be keeping them in separate containers and putting them on separate trays so I could keep track of what was what better. But this is really easy to tell apart. So the other thing I want to do with mullein is make a tincture out of it. Now, in the past, I have used it like a tea, just the dried flowers. Ignore that phone, please. I have used the dried flowers and dried leaves and just kind of crumbled them up. Come here, Isaac, I'll give you a treat. Come here. You got to bring it to me. Come here. And made a tea out of it. Isaac's going to whine. We don't have room service here. You got to bring it to me. But I want to make it into a tincture, so I'll have a more concentrated thing and can just put, take a couple drops and get some of the benefits. It's supposed to be good for respiratory stuff, and I've also heard that some people use it as a pain reliever. I don't know how well it works for that. Insert standard disclaimer here, not a medical advice, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to give it a try. and see how it works. So I was only able to get a couple flowers, which was really disappointing. That hill was so steep and dangerous. But I'm just going to put some flowers. It takes forever. I mean, it takes like a lot of flowers to have enough to fill up a jar. I seriously, like each year, I just feel like I can spend lots of time in locations where I can reach a lot of plants, and I just come home and like there's hardly any flowers. It takes forever. But it's a plant that I love. Here I accidentally broke off kind of a tip of the plant, and so you can kind of see what it's like. There's like this kind of the stalk, and the plant grows on it, and you just kind of pinch off the flowers. And it would work so much better if like all the flowers bloomed at the same time, and you could just cut off the whole stalk and take it home and then pinch off the flowers or whatever, but they don't work that way. You get like one, you know, you might just have a couple flowers blooming on a stalk at a time, and so it's just really time consuming to gather them. The leaves, a lot of the leaves are very large and they're much easier to collect than the flowers. But the flowers are what I use in the oil that I really want for my ears. Alright, so I'm going to get these in the dehydrator, and maybe I'll show you how I make the oil when I'm ready to make it. We're talking it's going to be like a month or more before I do. I still have some left from last year. Let me know what you like to forage for and what you do with it. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't. You can click on the little bell icon and it'll tell you whenever I post something new. And have a good afternoon.